be scared, but it's hard to explain what I feel, but it isn't fear. Not a bit. Another one of those gates, like the one I saw in the temple. I'm back to being me. It's hard for me to understand how these gates work. What happens every time I cross one of them? Another panel of this strange technology. What's it for? Something related to the currents? Wow. The island is pierced by underground currents. That architecture again. Where is this gate going to lead me now? What a quiet and peculiar place. Although they are the same style, these huts are much simpler than the magnificent architecture I've seen up to now. There are some hand marks made with pigments. I wonder if they mean something. I better draw them just in case. I wonder who used to live here.
We mother.
I understood that.
Some slaves die. Some slaves now water animal.
Water animal. Is that what I am now? It seems that each family had to agree somehow to change the water level. I'm amazed at how organized they seem to be, despite them being so primitive. Being trapped here probably made them stronger as a community.
We slaves, masters, Naga.
Heavens, slaves and masters and... Nicole. Wasn't Nicole in the notes? Whoever the inhabitants were, they were living here against their will. Someone vandalized this mural. Some hands look human, but others are amphibian hands.
Falls from sky, awakens God, black blood.
Is that black blood? How can I explain what's happening to me? What is the meaning of all this? God's blood, transformation, eternal life. I feel like I'm going through what was written in that inscription.
Masters ritual to slaves, black blood in eyes.
Black blood in eyes, like in the well. This civilization used these devices to raise and lower the water level. It's impressive. types of creatures of the same species lived here, but they weren't free. They rebelled against their masters. The slaves seemed to worship two gods. This looks like an altar dedicated to two figures. I can hear them talking to me. I made it. My illness has kept me from being happy. What I feel now is the complete opposite of being sick. I feel full of life and energy, even better than before my illness. Now the water level is really low, so I can access that tunnel. These creatures lived like slaves, all their lives imprisoned and tortured in this place. Was it possible to live a decent life in here? If you've lived all your life in a prison, how would you know that you are a prisoner? Now I can enter this tunnel. wonder where it will take me. That was quite a ride, but it's over now. That ladder. Someone set up camp in here. Looks like a means of transportation to get to that sanctuary. What is this? This... Oh my God! Did I almost forget about Harry? She doesn't seem to care much about Harry. And she doesn't seem to be thinking straight either. Harry, that look on your face. You look deranged. They seem to loathe each other. Somebody painted these symbols on the wall. You followed the river from the temple summit, and it took you some days to find this entrance. You followed the river from the temple summit, and it took you some days to find this entrance. So the guide left the expedition. That would explain the workshop on the white sand beach, where I arrived. Oh dear, poor people. Is this why I'm changing too? A sanctuary? Harry, was that where you went?
My dear old pal. It's only Cass and me now. I have much to thank her for, even if our friendship is worn thin due to hunger and fatigue. If she hadn't insisted so much, we'd never have convinced Aharoa. He guided us as we followed the river down from the mountain peak. And that's how we found this entrance. And the mural. Maybe I can't undo what's happening to you, Norah, but I think I can try to become like you. The original inhabitants of this island took slaves to a sanctuary, And there, they performed a ritual. Teaharoa said the ritual was madness, and he didn't want any part of it. He and Cass argued, violently. When we woke up the next morning, he had left. I know it sounds strange, but you have to trust me, my love. I know this is going to work, and we can be together. You understand what that means, don't you, Norah? We have a second chance. With more love than ever, Harry.
Harry? What ritual are you talking about? Why on earth would you want to become like me? Please don't. The sun is setting. It is so beautiful. Seems to show two possible courses of action. One means transformation, and the other means death? This panel looks different from the others. It's much more elaborate. This must be my transportation to the sanctuary. It all makes sense. Nothing bad is going to happen to me here, as menacing as this place might look. The island, the ooze, those sea creatures. They're just defending themselves, like a wild animal against an unknown threat. That's how they perceived the expedition, like a threat. But I, on the other hand, I wasn't a threat. And I definitely wasn't unknown, was I? They seemed to recognize me, as if I was one of their own. Everything seems so distant now. As if I first stepped on that white beach thousands of years ago. A full moon? It can't be. Yesterday was a new moon. Did I lose track of time, or... Maybe this place isn't subject to the laws of physics. That's the only explanation I can find for this surreal night. It's hard to believe everything is real. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I'll open my eyes sometime and I'll be back in our home in Inglewood and everything will be as before. My perfectly ordinary life with Harry. My daily routines. My illness. That will be as before too. And then I'll need to shake off this strange feeling that I have now. Feeling that I don't really belong there anymore. And with there, I don't mean Englewood, or Boston, or Newburyport. I mean... How is it possible that the strange events of only 2 days on this island makes more sense to me than the life that I've been living for years? There it is. The sanctuary.